So our speaker today is Kay Wallace, and we also have Jessica Walker. They are both from Lighthouse, Louisiana. Kay is the WIPA director. So they're going to talk to us today about WIPA and fill us in. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate your time.
Of
You're
course.
welcome, no problem.
Oh, please forgive me. I can't see myself, so I'm just gonna move forward, but I am here. So I don't know. Is everything still the way it's supposed to be, Sharon?
It is, yep, and
Okay.
you're fine.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. Hello. We could start if it's what you want us to do.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kay, and I'm here with my colleague, Miss Jessica Walker, and we're both part of Lighthouse Louisiana. And we're here to give an overview of our WIPA program, which is our Work Incentive Planning Assistance Program. And so we're just here to shed light on a lot of information that many individuals do not know of. So from there, I will let Miss Jessica take it away.
Good morning, everyone. You can go to the next slide, Kate, please. So with the WIPA program, what we do here is we provide beneficiaries with complete and accurate information about how going back to work will affect their benefits that they receive. So the clear purpose for our program is to provide them the correct work incentive planning assistance, so that way we can directly assist them to be successful on their return back to work if they're already working. So basically, we help them engage in the work field. You can go to the next slide. Engage in the work field, getting them comfortable so they'll know that yes, it is possible to go back to work. Yes, it is possible to work and keep your benefits. Yes, it is possible to basically transition back into a normal life. Because most people feel as if just because they get Social Security or people whispering in their ear, letting them know you can't work. And that's not the case. So WIPA stands for Work Incentive Planning Assistance. And we have over 50 states that we cover. Me and Kay personally only do Louisiana, part of Louisiana, more so like the down south part of Louisiana. And then we have our other colleagues who work with LSU that gets the rest of Louisiana. So here on the screen, you will see the yellow is our part, and then the white part will be the LSU. So there are two projects, two programs, I'm sorry, that take over Louisiana. So you can go to the next slide for me, Kay. So the WIPA goal is to increase the number of Social Security disability beneficiaries who choose to work for pay. We also support disability beneficiaries in successfully maintaining paid employment or self-employment over time. So they don't have to just be working for someone, they can be working for themselves as well. So we do also look at self-employment as well. We provide work incentive counseling that enables beneficiaries to increase their earnings. And we also reduce beneficiary dependencies on the disability benefits, because some people do want to come off of benefits and some people do want to stay on their benefits. So it just all depends on, once again, their goal and what they're aiming for. You can go to the next slide for me. So here is our mission. WIPA is basically all about work. We don't help look for work, but we can give you the resources that you need to get started if you're not working. So the mission of the WIPA program is to promote employment and financial independence for Social Security disability program for beneficiaries. You can go to the next slide for me. So here's a little background on the WIPA program. WIPA was created as part of the Ticket to Work and Work Incentive Improvement Act in 1999. WIPA projects are staffed by trained and certified CWICs. They call us CWICs, which stands for Community Work Incentive Coordinators. And today, as of today, WIPA project have served more than
Yeah, I think they on lockdown though.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's right.
750,000 individuals.
Hello, who's on lockdown?
So you can go to the next slide for me. So what can WIPA do for beneficiaries? As I mentioned before, our clear goal is to get them back into the workforce without them feeling like they can't do it. And we also to implement like how could I put this? To implement like what it all takes to help them, we basically verify all their benefits. So some people think we just will look into cash benefits, but we also look into their Medicaid, Medicare, housing, if they get a veteran composition, like different things that they receive from the state. We also help them with that so they can know what that look like. We identify and connect with services or supports needed to overcome barriers to employment. We understand how paid employment will affect all federal, state, and local benefits. So we look into all of their benefits, and we identify, use, and manage Social Security work incentives. So we let them know the phases that there are as far as the work incentives are concerned, which we're going to get a little into that today so you guys could understand what that looked like as well. You can go to the next slide for me, Kate. So CWICs can also support benefits with reporting wages information to Social Security. We also help beneficiaries to successfully manage benefits over time. And we analyze healthcare coverage as well, like I was mentioning earlier. We just don't just look in to just cash benefits. And we also try to help and resolve any problems that they have if we can. Now, some things do be kind of over our head, but we'll try our best to help in those areas. Because, you know, when you are put on benefits, you just kind of just be thrown in there and not understanding what's the next step, how that looks. So we also help them, coach them through that as well. You can go through to the next slide for me. All right. So who is eligible for the WIPA services? People who have a disability per Social Security, people who are already receiving Social Security benefits based on disability or blindness. So that can be SSI, SSDI, CDB, or DWB. People who are at least 14, but up to retirement age. You know, retirement age could vary, depends on when you was born. So that's why we just said up to retirement age, because it can go from 62 to 67, okay, or higher. You can go to the next slide for me. So the message, paid employment and Social Security disability benefits don't have to be a mutual exclusive. It's possible to work even a full-time job and keep Medicaid and Medicare in almost every case. And it is possible. It just all depends on how much you're bringing home, how many hours you're working, and how much you're making per hour. So it is possible to work a full-time job and still receive your Medicaid and your Medicare. It's possible to work and come out ahead financially, even if benefits are reduced or seized. Most people look at it as if they're not going to be able to when it comes to receiving benefits, cash benefits, and working. They feel like, oh, if I do too much, then they're going to take this away. And it's not always the case. Like I said, each case is different. It just depends on what the case is, what type of cash benefits they're receiving, and how many hours they're working and how much they're getting paid an hour. It's possible to get benefits back again if lost due to employment. That is true. But at the end of the day, Social Security make that final decision if you end up losing your benefits because of working. You can go to the next slide for me. So, work incentives, special rule that makes it possible for people with disability receive Social Security or supplement Social Security income, which that is SSI, to work and still receive monthly payments and Medicare or Medicaid. SSDI work incentives and SSI work incentives, just to give you a heads up, they are two different work incentives, which we're going to get into that later on in the slides. Work incentives do not apply to everyone. And the reason for that, because if you already have work history, then it's a whole different ballgame, basically. Then you didn't work through, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and now, you might not have any work incentives, and I call that cushion to keep your check. So then that'll make your case a whole nother different case when it gets to us. You can go to the next slide for me. So Social Security, disability insurance, and SSI, like I said, there's two different ones. When we're talking about Social Security, disability insurance, it is called either SSDI, CDB, or DWB. SSDI is for a person who went to have work history, went to work, and then they end up accumulating a disability while earning so many credits. And we're going to get into that as well. I'm trying not to over talk myself, so you guys will hear me kind of like pause a little bit, because the slides as they go will definitely, you'll understand what I'm saying. CDB is for kids who had disability, but they're receiving it through their parents. And DWB is for divorced individuals or widows who lost their spouse and they're receiving it through death of their spouse. Okay. SSI is supplement Social Security income. Normally people who don't have work history or was born with that disability starts off with this type of cash benefits. Or if you don't have no work history at all, and you end up with a disability at a later age, they will start you with SSI. Okay, you can go to the next slide for me, Kay. So here's the in-depth of it. So Social Security disability, which is SSDI, is entitlement and fraud by federal tax called a Federal Insurance Act, which is FICA. Everybody heard of FICA. So that's where that's how they kind of determine how much you will receive per month once you receive your check. To be eligibility is based on 20 quarters of coverage for persons with disability prior to the age of 21, or 40 quarters of coverage for everyone else. So you literally have to have this amount of work history in order to get SSDI. You have to have those 40 quarters, or your disability was prior to the age of 21. You can go to the next slide for me. So SSDI and working, like I told you earlier, there are different phrases, which we're about to go and get into that. Phase 1 is 9-month trial work period. Any month with earnings over $1,110 as of now in 2024, that will be the rate. So let me touch a little bit on that so you can get more of a clarity of what the trial work period is. So the first phase of trial work period, during trial work period, you can earn any amount receiving and still receive your SSDI, okay? As long as you still have a disability, your trial work period ends when you use 9 months within a 5-year period. You use TWP months each time your monthly gross earnings are more than the $1,110. So that's how you know if you use a trial work period. What we do as CWICs, we will confirm that information through Social Security to see where you're at if you're in phase 1 and have you use any of those months, and we will inform you and let you know. So that's a little bit about the trial work period. So next will be phase 2, which is your extended period of eligibility, which is 36 months. No SSDI for any months will earn, no SSDI for any month with earnings above SGA, which is 1,550 if you're not blind, and 2,590 if you're blind. That will be the rate. So anytime after the trial work period, if they make over those amounts, then what Social Security do is they will pause their check, not term it, but pause it, and then it'll start back up the following month that they have not worked within the SGA range. And just so you'll know, what SGA stands for is substantial gainful activity, okay? So, after TWP, Social Security will decide if your work activity will be within that SGA range. So they make that decision comparing it to monthly earned income that you make if it's over that guideline. Okay, you can go to the next one for me, Kay. So during the extended period of eligibility, at any point during the 36 months, which is called EPE, if earnings fall below, like I was saying, if it falls below the SGA, then SSDI payments can return without renewing your application or doing a new application. So that's a great work incentive for people to have. So if they decide after they use their trial work period and they feel as if they want to make a little extra money over the 1,550, they are allowed to without being nervous about completely losing their check. Okay, so beneficiaries can continue to be considered disabled according to SSA rules. So that's a great work incentive to have as well. You can go to the next slide. If you guys have any questions, just you can put it in the chat and then we will answer them at the end. But is it, I keep going, or is it you now?
I just finished this one.
Just finish this, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It had disappeared on me. Okay, so let's keep going a little bit. So during the post EPE, which is the phase after the extended period of eligibility, then if you're still working over the SGA, this is when Social Security decide if they're going to term your check, okay? It takes them a good 4 years before Social Security decides to term your check. So if you're still working over the SGA amount, then yes, they will term your check, and that's when you will have to redo the application. As long as you have a disability, then they will make the decision to start you over again with the process of getting your SSDI. So the reason for reducing or termination will be because they have been working over SGA over the past 4 years of them working, okay? So they can request for their disability payments to be received once again. You can go to the next slide. Okay,
Alrighty.
there you go.
And so we also help understand your benefits as far as your health insurance while you're working as well. So we do Medicare Part A and Part B coverage, which is provided with Social Security. With SSD payments. If your SSD is suspended or term, what happens is you now roll over into your Medicare coverage, which can continue through the extended period of Medicare coverage, which is EPMC. So this is 93 months after the TWP for the Medicaid Part A. So what that essentially means is that after you have utilized your 9 trial work periods, those TWPs, you now start a clock of 93 months for your Medicare coverage. Now, this only will affect you if you're working over the SGA and you continue to work over the SGA, and possibly your benefits might stop within a time frame. Just because your benefits stop, that does not necessarily mean that your health coverage will stop. You do have time, of course, to still be coverage, but if your earnings are still above the income limits, then that's when you could possibly run into maybe some discrepancies with your health plan if you do go over the 93 months. Medicare Part B coverage can continue as well via direct premium payments made to Medicare. So there is a Part B premium that is paid, which is $175. Most individuals do apply and are eligible for the Medicare savings program. So a lot of individuals don't have to pay that $175 out of pocket. But if you're no longer receiving a check and you no longer qualify for those programs, then you will have to pay that $174 out of pocket. And that's just something that we go over within our services as well, and let you know, okay, your earnings may push you over and you might have to start paying this premium, but of course, that's a part of the program. And if we ever come across that, then that's something that we can definitely analyze and help you understand as well. And so for SSI, which is Supplement Social Security. So SSI is a need-based income. The federal benefit rate for the year of 2024 is $943. SSI is adjusted by the gross income once one earns each month. So anytime an individual receives SSI and they do report that they are working, more than likely that SSI payment will be affected each month due to it being needs-based. So any income that you report monthly for SSI does affect that payment that you will receive. For SSI as well, the gross amount of income impacts the amount of SSI payment, which I mentioned before. Any income that you report, it will affect the SSI payment. The gross amount of income is used in a calculation formula to determine the countable income. In here, as CWICS in here at the Lighthouse, we do calculate those that formula for you, but do keep in mind, of course, Social Security does have the last say so, but we can calculate and give you a rough estimate of what your check could possibly look like if you continue to report your income and work the number of hours that you're working. The impact of gross earnings on SSI may be lessened because of the out-of-pocket disability-related expenses exclusively for individuals categorized as statutory blind and students that are under the age of 22. So there are different impacts for individuals, like I mentioned, who are blind, and also those individuals who are in school and under the age of 22. And so we can also go into that information as well. If those apply to you, we can definitely break down that information for you and provide that information. With the Medicaid comes with or without SSI payment. Louisiana Medicaid threshold for 2024, also known as 1619B, is $38,748 annual income. And the assets for SSI beneficiaries cannot exceed $2,000. So that would be car, house. If you maybe have multiple cars, multiple houses at that point, that could affect your payment for your SSI due to the the excessive amount of assets. Other benefits by WIPA that we can provide, we also can help you understand how maybe your SNAP benefits can be affected, your housing, anybody that qualifies for a waiver, we can contact those waiver representatives and get a better understanding of how your earnings and working could possibly affect that waiver. We do unemployment benefits, work compensation benefits, and VA benefits as well. So we pretty much any benefits that you're receiving, we can go in and pretty much let you know how they can be affected while you're working. So how can you work with WIPA? Refer clients to WIPA to learn about their benefits, the rules, the policies, apply to their specific situation and any unexpected changes to their benefits based on their earnings. We're also going to help them identify possible out-of-pocket payments. Like I mentioned earlier, you could possibly, depending on your earnings, you could possibly have to pay that out-of-pocket fee of that Part B premium, which is for the year 2024 is $174.70. So we definitely let you know if that could definitely be an out-of-pocket fee for you. We help clients communicate with the WIPA staff and any potential extra help, supervision, flexibility, anything like that. That is for SSI. So at that point, we just help you understand benefits. A lot of individuals don't know that they're receiving any work incentives. And so we just help bring a lot of light amongst that so they're understanding how working can affect their benefits. So how you can refer to us, of course, we do direct. Direct referrals will simply just be calling over, hey, I received your number from this person and they told me about your services and I think that I would love them. Simply just giving us the call. We also do have the Ticket to Work helpline, which is our main source of referrals, and that is Monday through Friday, and all that the individual need to do will call over to the Ticket to Work helpline and inform them that they are looking for a WIPA service in their area. And from there, that individual should be able to either get their information sent here to Lighthouse Louisiana or to our other program here that's also in Louisiana as well, which is located on the LSU campus. So that could definitely be the way to be referred to us. And then we also take referrals through our email as well. And so this one is a PASS, which is a plan to achieve self-support. So if an individual is wanting to set aside some money and not be penalized through Social Security, what will happen is they have a specific, I guess you could say, bank account saving plan set up for an individual, which is the PASS. And this just help you put money aside and not be breaking any rules through Social Security. And so with this PASS, if you have a specific work goal, like if you want to work and maybe you want to save up for a car so you can get to work, maybe you want a job coach, maybe you want to start some training course, but yet you don't have the money and you do want to set it aside, you can definitely get this account set up through Social Security, which will help you put aside assets so you're not being counted against you. In order to, of course, be eligible for this, of course, you have to already be receiving some benefits, be enrolled in a school or a training program, currently working, seeking employment, or interested in employment or self-employment. And you want to become self-supporting, which means you possibly want to work off of your set income, which is perfectly okay. And if you're in need of service or items to achieve desired goals. So this PASS is that for anybody who has a desired work goal that they're trying to reach and they want to set aside money and not be counted against them towards their income limit. And so a detailed written plan outlining specific employment goals and approved by Social Security. So this is a work incentive through Social Security. So if you are interested, you can definitely head over to Social Security. We also give detail. We can help you with the application. We cannot fill out the application, of course, but we can definitely help you if that's something that you are needing of. We can definitely do that for you. But the employment goal has to be feasible, and it has to be an employment goal. It has to be an employment goal. That will be the only way to actually successfully get this work incentive. The next one would be the ABLE account, which is achieving in a better life experience. Now, the ABLE in the past are pretty much the same, but for the ABLE, this is more so just having a money set aside for a rainy day. If you just wanted to possibly just have money on the side, so you could just go on vacation one year, or if you want money on the side just for, just a saving, then this right here is definitely for you. It is the ABLE account. Many states benefits have resource limits. The SSI beneficiaries have a resource limit of 2,000. Beneficiaries basically cannot save for a rainy day or for future purchases. So you're trying to save for a rainy day, you're trying to save for anything, this ABLE account will definitely help you. It allows you a saving account that operates similar to the 529 account. I don't have much on the 529 account, but it is a savings account that will help. Available to individuals who have a disability before the age of 26 and has been determined to meet the requirements related to disability. Now, when it comes to the requirements for the ABLE account, I will say it will best be to speak to a representative to know exactly, because I have heard mixed feelings, or I should say mixed reviews about who's actually required. So if you truly wanted to know, you would definitely need to call over to the ABLE account. But this ABLE account just allows for greater independence for individual. And so the annual contributions, of course, is 18,000 in 2024. So a individual can save up to 18,000 for the for the limit for the ABLE account. And then the owner who does not participate in an employer-sponsored retirement plan may be eligible to continue above the annual ABLE account. And at that point, you would need to contact ABLE, of course, just to get the actual contribution limits, or if you qualify for those as well. But that is a great account for any individual, like I state, who wants to put money aside for rainy days. And you do not have to have a specific goal. This is just simply having money on the side for a rainy day. And then this here is just how to contact us here at Lighthouse Louisiana. I am the WIPA director. If you do call over and you do want WIPA services, all you would need to do is just let our receptionist know, and she can definitely get you hooked up right away with us. I can also be reached at the WIPA Lighthouse Louisiana email if anybody needs to reach out. But yes, so this is our WIPA program. I hope we were able to give you guys some information, good information. I know there's probably lots of questions, so Sharon, I am done if you wanted to take it over. You're on mute.
Thank you. I'm dropping the link in the chat box for our survey. And there were some questions in the chat that Jessica was handling as you were talking. So if that's anything that you need to address, Jessica, so that everyone will hear, that would be great.
Well, the only question I didn't answer was the contact information. McKay just did that slide, so hopefully that helped Alexandra with that answer, because as I was typing, the slide came up, so I was like, oh, well, there goes the answer. Well, then if anyone have any questions or concerns, we're open to answer any questions that they have.
And I will be sending, I'm assuming, Kay, you're sending me the slide deck. I assumed that. I shouldn't have assumed.
Yes, I can.
So I will send the slide deck, and I will also go ahead and set up this recording on YouTube so that I can send you the link for this as well, so that you can go back and listen again, or you can share with colleagues or families the information that was shared here today. So FYI, you'll have access to that very soon.
Okay, thank you.
And we know that the information today was, very brief, but once you become one of our, once we give you guys as a person case, then we go into more depth with what happens, and we take it slowly and we go step by step so the person don't get so overwhelmed with the information. So it's more information out there that we can share with you guys once they decide, if the person decides to use the program. And I love to say this part, it's free. Free. So no charge. We are funded through the state. So yeah. And once we say that, everybody be like, oh yeah, well, we want to use the program, because you don't want to have to worry about going back to work and stress about what's going to happen to your benefits while you're working. Okay, so yeah.
Ursula?
Hi, how you doing? I have a question. One, what was the young lady name that was just talking on the last slide? Second question, if you have a child that is 18, well, he's 17, he's 18, graduate this year. He has a disability of ADHD. And we noticed this summer when following, I'm gonna put it like this, following direction or listening, not authority, but listening and following through with the directions, or it's just mind is cloudy. And we know he needs a job coach or whatever, but he receives his dad's death benefits when the age of 18, he will stop. My question is, how do we go about to get his SSI, because he needs that. Like, he can function, but you can tell the function level is different. And and education wise, because he is in steady skills and he has IEP, but it's like I think his mom needs to start working on the process of getting his SSI after he turns 18. So who do we talk to help with that?
Okay, what it sounds like is that they need to call over to Social Security and simply start get benefits set up. Because if he's 18 and
He's 17 now. He won't be
17.
18 until
Okay.
he won't be 18 until April.
Okay, yeah, so what it simply sounds like is they need to call over to Social Security and just get him set up with benefits as far as getting the application started. Of course, getting all the necessary paperwork that's required, and then from there, just taking on the process of getting benefits started within
so
him.
so let me so could we call y'all guys and y'all can like guide us, help me guide his mom through this, and then we go to the Social Security, or we have to go straight to the Social Security? Because it gets confusing, because I know she went the last time and it was like you need to go through LRS and all this stuff, and it's like it's too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and it's so confusing.
Well, if he wants to start benefits and he's not receiving any at all, and he does have some disability and it is, medically proven and everything, they need to go to start with Social Security to get him set up with Social Security benefits. And then from there, he can qualify and apply for any other services, or as far as like for LRS, I know they do provide services for disabled individuals. He can call them right away, but as far as setting up benefits with Social Security, they would need to go directly through Social Security, and that's simply just starting an online application and then going from there.
So, although he receives his dad's death benefits now, so go ahead and do the application now. I mean, the process now, while he's still receiving his dad's benefits. And then after that, okay, so I'll let his mom know.
Because more than likely, those benefits for his dad will stop at 18. And if he is medically disabled, then she
Right.
definitely needs to go through Social Security and start getting that set up.
I hope I hope she get it. I hope she understands. Because like I said, it's confusing. It's so
So, Ms.
confusing.
Ursula, the number one thing is to get him entitled to, entitlement. So once the doctor set his entitlement date, saying this is the day we declare him as disabled, then he will, who his physician is, will then lead him into the right direction. And then you can go ahead and fill out the information
Because
for
I
Social
know
Security, for SSI.
before his dad died, he was getting his mom's,
Okay.
a part of his mom's stuff. And then when his dad died, that's when they stopped it and gave him the death benefits for the dad. So I wonder, will it, after he turned 18, will it? Yeah, okay. All right. Well, all right, let me just take some of notes. Thank you.
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Well, I'm happy we could be here today and just help inform you all. Our WIPA services, I believe, is a beautiful program. We're here to just provide information to individuals that they normally do not know and understand. We promote work. A lot of individuals don't believe that they can work because they receive that set income, and that's not the truth. An individual can work and do whatever they're capable of, but of course, there are rules and regulations that you must apply by in order to, keep that set income coming. But we are here to help. We are here to provide that information and just to alleviate any confusion when it comes to working and receiving a set income from Social Security. So thank you all.
Ladies, we thank you very much.
Yes, of course.
I will get the information out to everyone who is here. Feel free to share, everybody, share the link for the video of this webinar, share the PowerPoint, and please call Kay or Jessica if you have questions. Don't forget to grab that link in the chat box before you go. It's for our little brief survey. I dropped it again just so you don't have to fish for it. And if you need a certificate of attendance, you need to complete the survey for me. All right. Y'all have a great afternoon. Thanks so much.
You too.
Alrighty.
Thank you.